Hello and welcome to this video dedicated to the modal verbs. Now modal verbs have their particularities. They do not function like normal regular verbs. Why is that? First of all, it's because they belong to this category here, verbs, auxiliary verbs. They don't exist in all the tenses. And when we create a negative or question form, they don't use our auxiliary to do, like most verbs in certain tenses. So what are modal verbs? This is a list of modal verbs here. Can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, and in certain grammar books, ought to also appears on that list. Now, when do we use modal verbs? We use it when we want to emphasise something, a request, permission, habits, or even advice. And they always project either a degree of certainty, is something possible, improbable, certain, or an obligation, freedom to act, inability or ability. Now, when I mentioned equivalence earlier on, let's say, for example, that I wish to say, I must leave now in the past. I would not be able to say yesterday, I must leave then. I would have to use an equivalent verb, in this case, to have to. Yesterday, I had to leave then. For example, must equals to have to. Now, to have to here is an equivalent verb. However, in certain cases like may, might, I don't always have an equivalent verb, so I might want to use an adverb such as perhaps, or even the adjective likely, if I wish to express the same thing in a different time or simply in a different manner. And certain modal verbs are used to create a specific tense, such as will is used for the present tenses. Would is not only the past of will, it's also the conditional. So bear that in mind when completing the interactive exercises after this video. So a few hints for you in the classroom. Lots of mistakes come from prepositions in English. This is one of them. So rather than say, I must to leave now, we must bear in mind that after a modal, there is no to. I must leave now. So can you speak English and not can you to speak English, so be careful there. Negative and question forms also, many mistakes appear there. So they function differently. So we're in the second part of this video, we'll see how. And as I said before, they don't exist in all the tenses. So we'll try and look at that now also together. Welcome back. Now let's conclude this video with a quick timeline. When can I use my modal verbs? Do they exist in all the tenses? And if they don't, what are their equivalents? So let's start off with can. If I wish to use can, I can do so, but only in the simple present. If I wish to express the same idea in the past or conditional, I'll have to use could. What happens in the future? I'll have to use the equivalent to be able to, so I will be able to. May. May is often considered equal to might, but you could also say it's more of a conditional. Now in the future, I'll have to use adverbs or expressions including adjectives, perhaps to be likely to. Now will and shall are equivalent. They express the future. They are the auxiliary verb which enables me to express my thoughts in the simple future. They don't exist in the present, there is no equivalent. However, in the past or conditional, we would use would or should. And finally, in order to express obligation, I will use must. Must's equivalent is to have to in the past, conditional, and future. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.